Gerd. Welcome to our show today.
Hello, everybody. Nice to be here.
You're all the way from Zurich, I guess?
Yes, I'm in the studio in Zurich right now and beaming across the internet to you.
Yeah, and we can hear and see you loud and clear. So very happy to have you in our studio and to have a talk about, I already mentioned in the introduction, a burning topic, a challenge, a trend, ChatGPT. How would you, let's say, identify this? Is it a trend? Is it a burning topic? Is it an issue? Is it a challenge? What do you think?
Well, it could be heaven or it could be hell, right?
Yeah,
I think that's true for a lot of technology. But basically, ChatGPT and of course language models and AI isn't new. It's been around for 20 years, and deep learning and machine learning driving it, of course. But the fact is that OpenAI decided to release the chatbot into the public. It created a kind of a moon landing moment. You know, the Americans went to the moon because the Russians got out the Sputnik first, right? And so they had to go to the moon to beat them. And this is kind of the same thing now. So basically, the ChatGPT is the Sputnik, and now the people on the moon is Bing and Google and so on, trying to integrate into search. So this is a very, very big deal. For many reasons. I think it has great applications, great use. I use it all the time now. And it has grave concerns and issues, of course, as well, like every big technology. But suffice to say that this isn't going to be like the metaverse, right? Or Bitcoin or blockchain. It isn't just going to percolate along, right? This is a real game-changing moment. And it's something we really, really should be looking at across the board.
Yeah, great. A real game-changing moment. That's something to follow up on in this conversation. I asked the audience to share their experiences and their knowledges and their thoughts about ChatGPT in the chat. And please, if you have not done so far, please do share your thoughts about Chat. Do you use it? Do you like it? Do you see some challenges? Please drop me a few words in the chat. For example, Gerd, we have an early adopter and madly in love with it. Are you in love with ChatGPT, Gerd?
You know, I'm a big of a geek. You know, I try everything. I used to be a musician and producer, so I like twiddling with stuff. I think really I feel excited about it. For example, I use it in my own work. I use an app called Runway. Runway is a fantastic app that's driven by OpenAI, ChatGPT in the background, and it generates, for example, new images on top of existing ones. It makes videos from images. It makes subtitles. It does all of those basic things. You know, I don't use it to really tell me the truth about anything, but it's a fantastic everyday tool that I cut down my work by 50% in some cases, and that's really good. On the other hand, I say I'm definitely concerned about what a machine would do that gives answers. Search, for example, is about questions, and then I can get links and I can make up my own mind. I have to make up my own mind. But ChatGPT says, here's the answer, right?
Yeah.
And we tend to believe machines. This is the kind of anthropomorphical thing, right? Like we think the machine knows everything, and it knows more than we do, right? And that is, I think, potentially quite disastrous for things like social media and, of course, democracy and, making up your own mind and
Yeah, before we deep dive into the implications and the challenges, of course, let me get one step back just for assume there is somebody in the room right now that doesn't know anything about ChatGPT and OpenAI. Can you briefly explain what it exactly is and what it exactly does?
Well, it's basically a language learning model, which means that the artificial intelligence or software basically looks for patterns and clues about how to answer a question by looking at 1,000 million statements that were made before, sentences and words and everything. Picture a giant parrot, essentially, going back to a huge repertoire of things, or a robot going to a cupboard, an armoire with 2 trillion socks and pulling out the right socks at the right moment. So it combines all those sentences into a plausible answer, right? It's a language learning model. So it does not apply any justification, it doesn't have any of those things. It generates responses very nicely. And currently, these responses can be both scarily interesting and human sounding, and sometimes even funny. right? And also completely off the track because, of course, it's being fed by internet search, right? So bottom line on ChatGPT is the next generation, which is using the 4.0 engine from OpenAI, will get a lot more accurate, a lot more real time, and it is providing solid answers. If you go to chat.openai.com, you can try it if it's actually online. It's been very busy, a million
Yeah.
users, I think, per day now.
Well,
So that's kind of the bottom line.
and will it replace Google, for example? Because I often hear that it's a new search engine. You can ask everything. Well, you can currently ask everything to Google as well. Will it replace, or what's the difference? Will it stay next to each other? What do you think?